It started with one decision from the US President Donald Trump. The US struck Iran's nuclear sites over the weekend, and just like that, a 20-year-old fear in West Asia has returned. Will the world back Iran or isolate it? Well, we break down who's showing up for Iran and who's quietly waiting it out. Let's start with Donald Trump. He said he'd decide in 2 weeks whether to bomb Iran in support of Israel. Instead, he did it over the weekend. So was that deadline just a diversion? Well, The Atlantic reports that the US had already made up its mind last week. A Trump advisor has said on record to local media that it was a head fake. And now global reactions are also pouring in. Europe, traditionally a voice of diplomacy, is walking a tightrope. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom says Iran must return to the negotiating table. France wants Tehran to renounce nuclear weapons. And Germany claims parts of Iran's program were hit, but no full damage assessment yet. The EU, though, calling for restraint and warning of a humanitarian fallout. But China and Russia, Tehran's biggest backers, aren't mincing words. Beijing slammed the US for violating international law, and Moscow went further, hinting that other countries may now help Iran to get nuclear weapons. And by the way, Dmitry Medvedev, close to Putin, warned, and I quote, "Trump may have just started a new war." Israel, though, unsurprisingly cheered the strikes, calling them a pivot in history. Even opposition leaders backed it, and that tells you, in Israel, this wasn't just a military move. It was a political consensus. As far as the Arab Gulf is concerned, it's complicated. Saudi Arabia condemned the strikes, the same Saudi Arabia that had only recently warmed up to Iran. Saudi, in fact, urged restraint and de-escalation. The UAE warned the region could slide into deeper levels of instability. Qatar, which is the globe's third largest exporter of LNG, regretted the deterioration of the situation, while Oman, which sits across the Strait of Hormuz, called the latest moves illegal aggression. And along with Bahrain, they've called for diplomatic approaches and immediate de-escalation. Bahrain, by the way, home to a US base, even issued civilian road alerts, fearing Iran could retaliate. What should India be watching for? Well, the Strait of Hormuz, vital for our oil, now sits on edge. Our energy and our trade routes in the region are caught in this geopolitical crossfire, and the question still stands. Will Iran strike back? And if it does, who will defend it? Because in today's West Asia, friends may speak softly, but foes, well, they strike hard.